Hi, it's me again. It looks like you're having some trouble with your writing, so I just wanted to give you a few clues about how to move forward. Okay, starting with the introduction, this really should be pretty simple. You're just taking these ideas and turning them into sentences. So La Bamba is a story written by Gary Soto about a boy, Manuel, who's nervous about being in the school talent show. He still has nightmares about his presentation in first grade that went so poorly. So just put that into words. Where you're really struggling is in your body paragraphs. So I'm just going to walk you through what those should look like. These are all just notes. So these are not sentences. It's not a developed paragraph, just notes for you to get your brain thinking. So the question is, how does the author develop the theme? So this first paragraph is about how the record as a symbol of courage develops that theme of being brave to try new things. So I have to show how the record shows that Manuel had courage. I've got my two quotes as my evidence. I have to, with every quote, I have to introduce it by saying what is happening in the story, and then I have to follow it up by showing how it connects back to that topic sentence. So, for example, in this first one, when Benny inhales and, Manuel drops the record, I need to know that they're at a talent show rehearsal in the cafeteria. I just need to be able to picture in the story where this is happening. So, how does it show courage? Well, this is where the scratch happens. So at this moment, he doesn't know that it's going to lead to courage, but we, the reader, know that it's going to lead to him needing to show courage later on. So then, in the climactic scene, the record gets stuck. But I need to know that that is actually during the performance at the talent show, that it's not some rehearsal, it's not him at the house in the shower, I need to know this is the actual talent show. And the record gets stuck. Now remember, his biggest fear is being embarrassed, but here with the kids laughing, and even though he feels embarrassed, he kept singing and moving his lips, and he even kept dancing, kept singing. I'm going to just say here dancing, because singing and moving his lips would be the same. So I've proven that, although it didn't go well, the record sticks, he doesn't think it's gone well, he kept going. He showed courage. In the face of what could have been really embarrassing, he showed courage. So then when I get to that concluding sentence about the symbol showing thing, I'm going to say how the scratched record gives him the opportunity to show courage or to be brave while he's trying this new thing. The second paragraph. How does the author develop a theme? He develops it through the resolution. Now, with La Bamba, you guys are really struggling to make this paragraph different from the one about his personality change. For me, the resolution, conflict resolution, I made this the external conflict instead of the internal. So this is just about the fact that, Benny tells him, you should add these dance moves, but he doesn't have time to practice that and yet is still successful in the talent show. So when I say that night Manuel had to do dishes, well, that's the night before the talent show. Why does that matter? He didn't have time to practice adding those moves. Now, does that end up affecting his performance? No, but it sure makes him much more nervous going into the performance. Then with the quote, when the entire cast lined up, I need to know that the show is over. Everybody's done performing, and the pressure of Benny just having that great trumpet solo, and now they all have to go out and line up. And Manuel again thinks he has failed. He thinks he made a fool of himself. When he gets out there, then the resolution is that he was a success. The audience had enjoyed the entertaining that he did. They didn't understand that it was a mistake. I mean, think about that long explanation he gives his dad when they get home. The adults in the room, the kids in the room even, never knew that wasn't on purpose. They thought it was like this dramatic effect that he had added into his show. So again, so by having the resolution of him being success, now we see that being brave paid off, and that's why we try new things, is sometimes we find out we're pretty good at them. So this whole paragraph, everything in here, is about how that resolution of Manuel being successful then actually teaches that theme about trying new things. The third paragraph, then, this is where I'm going to focus on that internal conflict, that conflict with Manuel feeling insecure. So the whole opening of the story is about him being worried about, why did I do this? Why did I raise my hand? And why is he so worried? Well, that's where we get into that story about the first grade battery problem where it was dead when he went to demonstrate for the experiment. And so now we see why he is so nervous about trying something new, because when he tried something new in first grade, he felt like he had failed at it. So then a lot of you got confused. The next year when they asked for volunteers, he wouldn't raise his hand probably, which means that he will raise his hand. Think about how you think sometimes are the things you say to get your friends to reassure you. And not that his friends are there, but it's just kind of his thinking process. So I need to know that this is after the show is over. After the show is over and he's thinking about it, he says, yeah, you know, I probably would do this. Why? Because he gained confidence. So whereas in this first half of the paragraph, he's so worried about it being embarrassed or humiliated like he was in first grade, but because he gained confidence when he heard all of the applause and the accolades at the next day, all the friends saying what a great job he did, that gives him the confidence to now actually plan to do the talent show the following year. So I need to, again, in my concluding sentence, talk about how that new confidence that he has will help him to be brave enough to do other new things as well. So just real quick refresher then. So the question is, how did the author develop the theme? Through the record, through the resolution, and through the character change. That's how the author developed the theme. So then my conclusion just pulls that all together. I have, the author develops the theme through the symbol, the resolution, and Manuel's character change disappeared. Let me put it back in here for you. So I just put that into sentence form. And again, you have my example from Freedom Summer to look at. But the other thing that you can try, and if this doesn't go well, then just I'll delete it out of the essay for you, a call to action. So the theme that we learned is a universal theme to be brave and try new things. So the call to action is to just encourage people to do that without using you or I, because quite a few of you did. That Manuel sets the example for people young and old to try, to be brave enough to try new things. So just kind of a generic statement there at the end that this is what we learn, the lesson that we all learned from Manuel. But again, you can't use you, I, or we. It has to stay in third person. I hope this helps. I'm not going to have a chance to go through your drafts one more time. Sorry, it's just taking so long to get through 175 papers. So I won't have a chance to do that. And so these do have to be turned in by the end of the school day on Wednesday, because I have to have all 175 regraded Wednesday night so that I can have them in the grade book by Thursday morning. Good luck.